guys, it's Andy and Wes here from D6 Evolution, and we're going to be continuing our Dark Eldar review. So what's up next, Wes?
So we're going to look at the Kabals now.
Right. So which Kabals are there?
So we've got 4 Kabals that we can take. There's obviously lots out there you can do, but there are 4 main ones that we have access to in the Dark Eldar, the Drukhari Codex. And they're, of course, off you now.
Yeah.
So the obsessions are what they're called essentially, and they're kind of like chapter tactics or chapter traits for
absolutely,
for the Space Marines. And they give access to different power buffs. But in order to get those, you have to take a solid detachment with them in order to access that, and it has to have all Cabal keyword in there.
Yeah.
However, you can take some of the mercenary units in there as well, which don't affect that as well.
Do they get the obsession?
No, they don't benefit from that. So the only guys who benefit from the obsession are actually the Cabal units.
Right.
But you can take the blades for hire, and they go into the detachment without being a negative factor towards the obsession.
Yeah.
However, if you were to take a witch unit or a coven unit in a Cabal, then you lose that opportunity to take the obsession.
Yeah. So you really be building your force around these obsessions.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what we got first? Blackheart.
Yeah, Blackheart.
Tell me about that.
So Blackheart is the Lord Vex's own Cabal, and as such, has got some really nice tricks to go with it. So the main premise of this one is essentially all your units gain +1 to the power from pain.
Yeah.
So they're essentially getting the charge, reroll charge, and advance on turn 1.
See, when we first talked about this, I thought getting charges from turn 1 would be absolutely awesome. But actually, when you've actually gone through which units are in a Cabal, there's not so many which benefit from actually charging stuff, is there?
No. So
it's a shame. If it was for a witch cult, it would be absolutely awesome, wouldn't it?
It would be pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
So the only guys you're really getting this on is the archon, the course, and the actual Kabalite warriors themselves, which are better shooting.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily want to be doing that on.
But it's still cool to have those extra buffs like a turn ahead, isn't it? Because there are some cool buffs in there. But
yeah, it means you've got them stacked up, all of them from turn 4 onwards.
But actually, when you actually look at the unit mix, they're not quite the right ones to benefit from that, are they?
No, but the nice thing that comes along with the second part of this obsession for the Blackheart is that all your vehicles get the inured to suffering, which is essentially the 6+ feel no pain.
You see, I love that 6+, for the reasons we talked about in the last video. It's just great.
And it's surprising, actually, most of these vehicles have a 5+ invulnerable save, so making that 5+ invuln then followed by a 6+ such feel no pain.
It's nearly a 4-up, isn't it, then, if you do the maths? It's not quite a 4-up invuln, but it's not far off it. From playing bloody orcs with their force fields and their feel no pains, it does feel like a 4-up.
Yeah, if you play anybody who's been beaten down by Drukhari, ask them how many 6-up saves that somebody's made. It's generally quite a few.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Blackheart. So in terms of the session, in fact, what do you think of it?
I think it's all right. I think having that 6-up is cool. It does give you some access to some cool stratagems, and guys, we're gonna be talking a lot about stratagems in a separate video. But I think we're going to be touching on like the key stratagems when we go through this. So that there's Agents of Vect, is it?
Agents of Vect. This is the one that everybody talks about, and it's 3 command points.
Yeah. And
it allows you to, on a roll of a d6, if you get a 2 or more, your opponent can't use that stratagem that turn.
I mean that is awesome, isn't it? That'll just throw such a sort of spanner in the works of any army which relies on a key stratagem for sort of coming down and doing something.
And what's beautiful is that if you roll a 6, they lose those command points.
Yeah,
which is really nice.
It's
very
I think 3 command points is fair for that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't do it pre-game, but I think for that one turn when you know your opponent's going to do something, you can effectively shut it down, because on a roll of a 2+, it's shut down, isn't it?
Yeah, so I like the psychological factor of this.
Yeah.
And especially with Drukhari players, it's all about the psychology.
Yeah, because people build their army around a key stratagem, don't they?
So one small thing I like to do is have my command point tokens lined up there, but have 3 special coloured ones. Just to go, these ones are set aside for when I need it.
Yeah.
Which is quite good. And actually, taking a step back about building your list for this, you only need 1 detachment that has the Blackheart in it. So you could, if you wanted, to take 1 small patrol detachment and add that in there, and that then gives you access to those stratagems as well.
No, that is good. I think that's the reason why you have to have some Blackheart in your army, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a solid reason.
Yeah.
So I'm really struggling not to take that just for the psychological benefit of it.
Yeah. So next up we've got Flayed Skull, which just sounds awesome, actually.
Yeah,
that's such a dark Eldar name.
It is, and enjoy. This is the one that I'm generally running with as well. It's it really suits me. So essentially, this one is extra 3 inches to any movement of the flying units. So that's the Raiders, the Ravagers, the Flyers, and the Venoms.
Because you're an army essentially which wants to almost sort of dance around your opponent, aren't you, and still be able to shoot. So actually having an extra 3 inches means that suddenly you're able to outrun even things like Custodes, doesn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely, and there's another couple
Damn
of bits.
you!
Oh, don't worry, you're going to feel that pain next week. So some other bits that come really nicely as well. This is that any of your rapid fire weapons are on these flying units as well, or embarked within a flying unit, gets to re-roll their ones to hit. So that's mainly going to benefit your splinter rifles on the warriors.
That's pretty much everything here, isn't it? But
not quite. So the warriors are going to benefit with their
the warriors are embarked
if
in
they're
these
embarked
things,
vehicle.
aren't they? Yeah.
And the splinter cannon on the Venom over there, or if you've got splinter cannons or splinter rifles on the Razor Wing.
I mean, that's huge, because then you don't need to be near an archon, do you?
Yeah, and it suits my playstyle. Many playstyles of Drukhari players.
So you don't have to bunch up. You can go around the board. You can sit on objectives.
Yeah.
You don't give your opponent any good places where they can sort of pin you down, essentially.
Yeah, this is great for Venom spam lists, or if you're going for the gunboat of Raiders with maxed out units of warriors on board.
Yeah, I think this is the strongest one.
Yeah, I personally do too.
Yeah.
There's some synergies with some of the other ones, but I think as an out basic start point, I think that personally the Flayed Skull's a good place to start. Cool.
Any cool stratagems for them?
So there's one more benefit.
There's more.
So you think that the 3 inch extra move and the reroll in one of the rapid fires is good. Actually, you also get the benefit of ignoring the benefits of cover from your opponent.
That is amazing. I mean, I've played Dark Angels with the Raven Wing, and when they ignore cover, to see Marine equivalent players, they don't get the 2-up saves anymore.
Yeah.
For being in cover, it's huge.
So,
people think cover is not a big thing in this edition, but it is.
Yeah.
It is massive.
It's nice. Obviously, the Dark Eldar have some really nice access to -2 and -3 Rens, which is great. But when you find loads of splinter weapons, which
is it just rapid fire ignore cover, or is it everything?
All the shots ignore.
Oh, that's good. I mean,
if they're in a flying unit. So the main premise is as well as having lots of skimmers and lots of vehicles.
So actually, your Dark Lancers and stuff ignoring covers here nor there, I think, because they've got so much minus AP anyway that it doesn't matter. But a splinter rifle, it doesn't have any AP, does it? Yeah. So actually, those things ignoring cover and a Marine not being a 2-up is actually huge.
It makes a big difference.
Things get like -3, -4, ignoring covers here nor there.
Yeah, I find it really useful actually with the disintegrators because they're only -3. It means that Space Marines aren't necessarily getting a save, so it makes a bit of a difference.
Yeah, I like this one even more.
Yeah, great. So how do we move on to the next one?
So was there any cool stratagems or anything for Flayed Skull?
So Flayed Skull, their stratagem really is based around the whole flying thing, and their stratagem is the rerolling ones against if a flyer is attacking a flying unit, essentially.
Yeah, it's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, which is
situational.
Nice.
It's alright.
It's one command point. It's not going to change well. I think it's a solid obsession to start with anyway.
Yeah, that is brilliant. So, Poison Tongue?
Poison Tongue, yeah, I've heard that one before. Different.
Tell me about Poison Tongue.
The Poison Tongue. So the Poison Tongue is that they're obviously masters of the poison craft. So any poison weapon, whether it be shooting or melee, get to reroll 1s to wound.
That's not bad. It's like having a Space Marine lieutenant, isn't it, all the time? And pretty much everything's poisoned in your army, isn't it?
Yeah. Most things, yeah.
Yeah.
You need the poison really high strength and
I think it's good. I just don't think it's quite good as Flayed Skull, but it's almost there.
No, but they do have the nice stratagem though. It's we spoke about before about if you use it and when models have sort of
so is it the fail morale check?
The fail morale check, yeah. So guys then get to attack again that you've chosen as the unit, and if they kill something,
then none of them flee.
Yeah.
So it's not only getting out of sequence killing stuff, which is huge.
Yeah.
You're also not losing models because the chances are they're going to kill something, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you're taking a large squad of Kabalite warriors, for example, and
they'll kill what you've only got to kill one model.
Yeah, and normally you wouldn't use your blaster as the first guy you take off, but actually shooting a blaster shot, killing something, and then nothing running, it would be a very Drukhari way of staying on the board.
No, it's wicked. So what we've got? Obsidian Rose. What the hell is that?
Yeah, so I see this one as very much a standoff Dark Eldar army. These guys are essentially getting extra 6 inches to all their assault, rapid fire, and heavy weapon ranges, which is quite nice.
It's kind of the sort of traits you see for gunline, like Tau and things like that, would really benefit. So if you want to play your Dark Elder like a gunline, fair enough. But
yeah, you can see your Ravagers quite far back.
Yeah, because that rapid fire, because nearly all the splinter stuff's rapid fire, isn't it?
Yeah,
So it's not actually a bad one getting an extra sort of 3 inches on your rapid fire range, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they come with 30-inch range then, so it's quite nice.
Yeah. Is there any stratagems or anything cool for Obsidian Rose?
There is, but I can't actually remember what it is.
It probably didn't stand out to us though.
No, we'll discuss all the stratagems in later one anyway. So, but that's
cool.
That's what we got for the
so
discussions.
While we're talking about the Kabals, particularly for people like me who don't actually know much about Dark Elder, do you want us to run us through briefly what units are in a Cabal?
Yeah, so I've pretty much got most of the units set up here. So we'll talk about the Archon first.
Yeah.
So the Archon is the big daddy. He's essentially, I guess, the equivalent of the Space Marine Captain.
Yeah.
As this chap here. So his basic stat lines, he's got movement 8, which is pretty quick. He's hitting on 2s to weapon skill and ballistic skill. He's strength and toughness 3, which is kind of generic. Space elf, isn't it? 5 attack space, which is not
nothing to laugh about, yeah.
Leadership 9, and he's got a basic 5+ save.
This bloody 2-up in run he gets.
It's this 2-up in run.
Who the hell gets a 2-up in run?
I know, it's very Drukhari. And very Drukhari, the first game I played with this guy, the first save I had to make on it, rolled a 1, he died. It was not good.
So as soon as they fail a save, he loses his 2-up in run.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think he's a competitive choice? And where would you use him in a sort of tournament list?
So I think, skipping ahead a little bit in terms of what I think competitive builds, I think a more of a Ravager gunline list.
Yeah.
Actually having a couple of these guys, because he has the Overlord rule, which is re-rolling 1s to hit.
Yeah.
Which is nothing to be scoffed at, actually. So actually having him sat there with a gunline of Ravagers and Raiders firing disintegrator cannons or Dark Lance is pretty useful.
My only issue with this as a character is you have to... Essentially, he's slow, and everything he's going to be buffing is going to be in one of your Raiders or whatnot. So they're all fast-moving things. Yeah. So unless you're actually just doing a sort of a little huddle at the back of the board, he's not going to be able to keep up with the things you want to buff.
No, and...
That's my only issue with him, is that he's too slow, and if you put him in a transport, you can't buff anything.
Yeah, he has to be out of the transport. Something I've used with this is you either set up a little gun line at the back, or you move into a position on the board where you want to dominate. He gets out and he buffs the units around him.
He's not bad, is he? And as you were saying earlier, he can actually be a bit of a beat stick in combat with that 2-up in run, and you can take a relic, can't he, to give him a couple of extra attacks. The Huskblade relic, isn't it?
Well, the Huskblade is what he comes with.
Yeah, but there's a relic version of it.
It's the Gin Blade, yeah, so it gives him extra 2 attacks, which is nice. 7
attacks with D3 damage.
Yeah,
that's nothing to laugh at, and that's providing you choose the right thing to sort of go against. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, and there's additional ways to give him increased strength as well, which we'll talk about later on. But so you can really juice this guy up. Personally, I use him as a buff unit for my fire base essentially. Yeah. Because even with Drukhari, you end up having some sort of fire base going on there as well. Because you don't want to say these guys are pretty fragile, so you don't necessarily want them in range, and they have great range anyway. So you can generally stand a lot of the Drukhari heavy weapons off.
Yeah.
And just have him buffing those guys, and then when time comes to move, he gets back into his vehicle, he moves along. Or actually, do you know, often with his 8-inch move and his re-rolling of his advanced moves, you know, you're going to get about 12-inch move there, which is generally enough to keep him up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
so it's not bad.
And you can have a few of these guys as well, and that's in a competitive lift. I'd probably have 2 or 3 of these guys.
Yeah, 'cause you've got to bring a HQ anyway, so it's not a bad shout. Yeah. Right, what else have we got in terms of...
Yeah, so the next things we want to talk about is the actual, the mainstay of the army itself is the Kabalite warriors. Again, basic sort of space elf stats. 7-inch move, which is nothing to be scoffed at, actually, that's pretty good. Hitting on 3s, again, strength and toughness 3. 1 attack, apart from the Sybarites, who gets an additional attack. Leadership 7 and 8.
It's fine, I mean, they're not big units anyway, so it's mean, by the time you factor in power from pain, they're actually not bad, are they?
No, and they've had some actual. I think it's buffs personally. Before there was a Trueborn version, which is like an elite version.
Yeah.
They've kind of melded them together now. So if you take a 5-man unit, you can take one special weapon. So there are a few special weapons you take, which are the Shredder, which is quite a nice weapon actually. It's a strength 6, -1, d6 hits, or d6 shots rather. Which
It's
is
all
quite
poison,
nice.
is it?
Not poison. It's just strength 6. But if it gets infantry, you get to re-roll your wounds.
Ooh, that's nice.
Which is quite nice.
That is nice.
But the one thing that people are really talking about, the blaster.
It's like a las cannon, isn't it?
It's a mobile las cannon. How do you feel about that?
I just feel like Marines have missed out because this is awesome.
Yeah, and it's pretty.
Is it assault? Is it or
It's
is
assault 1. Yeah, so it's 18-inch assault 1. I think 17 points,
Oh,
which is nothing to be scoffed at.
No, and considering these guys are running around in a raider, actually the range probably doesn't matter because you're going to be moving, 14 inches or something with a...
Yeah, or 17 if you've taken the Flayed skull as well.
Yeah, so actually the range on a blaster's here nor there, isn't it? Because it can easily get into range.
Yeah. So and the nice thing about this is you can take 1 for every 5 models that you have. So in a 10-man unit, that's 2. And if you go for a 20-man unit, that's 4 of these dudes.
Oh, God.
Which is quite nice. There's some nice little synergies there as well.
Yeah, and the actual basic troops aren't bad with their... What do they get? The rapid-fire weapons?
Yeah, they get the rapid fire splinter weapons.
Yeah.
Again, 24-inch range.
Yeah.
So really most things on 4s, which is nice.
Yeah, no, I think this is a strong unit. It's going to form the backbone of your army, isn't it?
Yeah, and they also have access to. So if you take 10 guys, you can take a heavy weapon, so you can make the splinter cannon, or you can take an additional dark lance as well, which is the longer range version of that weapon. So essentially, with a 10-man unit, you can have 3 dark light weapons.
That is.
Yeah.
that is nasty, and they're riding around in one of these transports as well, so they're actually quite durable.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
So they don't get the benefit. So they'd be hitting on 4s with the dark lance because they're moving and it's a heavy weapon. But generally
It's still it's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think as a core choice, they're pretty good.
It's pretty much going to be what you build your army. What else have we got? You've got your transports, haven't you?
Yeah. So before we talk about transports, we'll talk about the big dog here, which is the Ravager, which is this chap. I think Ravagers where the money's at right now. They took a huge points drop, and the nice thing as well is wasn't just the vehicle itself took a points drop. The weapons took a points drop, especially the disintegrator.
Oh God!
You hear about the disintegrator weapon?
I've heard about it. I don't know what damage does it do.
So it does damage 2. So the basis of a disintegrator, it's 3 shots, 36-inch range.
Oh, it's assault, isn't it?
Strength 5.
Yeah.
-3, 2 damage, which is pretty good. Assault, and actually the nice thing about the Codex as well is that essentially if a Dark Lance is fitted onto a vehicle, it becomes an assault weapon as well. So there's no minus.
Nice.
So
it essentially means you can sort of advance this every turn for the extra movement, can't you?
yeah, you can do, yeah. If you need to, but you generally don't need to, especially these guys being able to move at 14 inches and then extra 3 inches because your Flayed skull as well. So 17-inch move. With
Is Flayed skull the extra movement?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell. The Flayed skull literally is the best, isn't it?
For me it is, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for many guys it will be. But it's whether you want access to that stratagem, as we said before.
Yeah.
So these guys, I think, probably, you'll see this in a competitive list, I think 3 of these sat at the back with an archon around it, given the rerolls to 1s to hit.
Yeah.
Also, there's access if you take the Blackheart. They have a stratagem as well, which not stratagem. They have an artifact which allows rerolls to 1s to wound, which is
that's quite a nice little sort of fire base, isn't it?
Yeah. So each Ravager is firing out 9 shots, strength 5, -3, 2 damage, and actually you can strip lots of vehicles with that. With three of those there, that's
2 damage is awesome.
Yeah, that's 27 shots coming your way with a guaranteed 2 damage. They're pretty gnarly, and I think competitive lists will have 3 of those in a firebase with an archon around it.
Are they -1 to hit, or is it just the transports?
Just the transports.
Yeah, okay.
However, there is a stratagem as well that you bring this on that for 2 command points, you can make any of these units a -1 to hit.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Right, so tell me about the transports.
Transport. Oh, sorry. Just one more thing about these. So
Bloody hell, there's even
yeah,
more.
there's more. So the two options: Disintegrator or the Dark Lance. I personally think that the Disintegrator is the better option to go, but Dark Lance is also a valid option, and it's the Dark Lance hits again as well, so we discussed earlier.
So,
The transports.
transport.
Okay, let's do it. Two transports at the end. You got the Raider and the Venom.
Yeah. So, why would you pick one over the other?
Subtly different units.
Yeah.
I like the Venom for its size. It's able to hide and get into little nooks and crannies and have a small fire base with small units sneaking around. I think now the paradigm shift. I think the Raider is the slightly better option with a disintegrated cannon.
Yeah.
Because for 5 points more, you're getting extra hull points, and extra wounds.
Yeah.
A little legacy there, and the ability to have more troops on board as well. But I think for me, it's the disintegrator.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, both look competitive. They're both -1 to hit, are they?
No, just the Venom's -1 to hit. The Raid both have a 5+ invuln though.
Okay, that -1 is good though.
Yeah, and if you're taking the Blackheart, that's a 6+ feel no pain there essentially as well.
Okay.
So, both really solid, slightly different tactical uses. I use a mix in my army for reasons I've mentioned.
Cool. And just quickly, the flyers, because they're Cabal as well, aren't they?
So these ones are Cabal and Cult. I've put them here because I think with the Obsessions they fit better with the Cabal.
In terms of getting your 6-up feel no pain, you can get your rapid fire weapons can be infected.
Yeah, and the for me it's the -1 to ignoring the cover saves essentially. So I just think they fit better there, or the Blackheart and getting the 6+ feel no pain.
Okay. So from your competitive choices from a Cabal, are we thinking mainly Flayed Skull with a bit of Blackheart to run in there?
For me, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And sort of competitive units wise, you'd say backbone of Kabalite warriors with, you think, the Ravagers mainly.
Yeah, so I think competitively, yeah, definitely. You've got to take the Archon for the buffs, and you have to because it's the only HQ you can take. Small warrior squads for me, maybe with a dark light weapon inside it as well. In Ravagers, with Raiders with disintegrators, Ravagers at the back.
Yeah.
I personally though run the flyers because I really like these because they have some nice tricks on them.
Yeah.
This guy here, the Void Raven, has a bomb which you can use once per turn. Once per game, and it inflicts mortal wounds on a unit.
On 3-ups, isn't it?
On 3-ups, which is really nice.
That's really good.
It's 1 dice per guy in a unit, and on a 3+, it takes a mortal wound.
Yeah, a bit like the Ravenwing Dark Talon, but better, which is really annoying.
It needs to be.
It's like I can do what you can do.
With original Dark.
Yeah.
And then you got the Razorwing, which I think has got the slight competitive edge. Load up disintegrators and then missiles as well. It just gives you a little bit of flexibility there. And I think taking them in bigger numbers, if you are going to run these chaps, and having like an arc or a wheel that's going around just shooting things up.
Yeah. Right, guys. So I think that's it for Kabals. Next, we're going to be talking about witch covens, aren't we?
Witch cults.
Cults, yeah. See, I know this. I know this codex inside out.
The witch cults or the homunculum covens. We can talk both. We can blend them together.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Right. See you next time.
Cheers.